Hello, group 3. I have to record this for like the third time in a row because my stuff is not working. But that's okay because I don't mind going over this one more time because I think my other tries were not as smooth. But we are going over family systems, and I'm going over mine this week. As you guys can probably connect to it, or you guys can also tell me what your family's like. Because it's kind of interesting. This topic or chapter is quite interesting to me because it's just like it makes me understand better. But I'd like to begin with how the book is structured and how it goes along. Starts with what is a family, and I have taken notes because I've had to go over this like 80 times and I just can't remember everything. But I think my family is a lineal family, and this is mentioning that it emphasized generations of like parents and children in a family. I don't know, it's just kind of hard to structure your family in a way of like, are you a nuclear family, a lineal family, or like a what was the other one, an emotional family, because like my family isn't like emotional because we're not very like, well, we're a family, we have to take care of each other in this sense and blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously we take care of each other, but it's not like if I were to have a kid, I wouldn't just pawn my kid off to my brother just to be like, well, we're family, you take care of, I'm busy, but like, I know families like that, and their structure is actually quite nice. And I love that family dearly, and I feel a part of that family because I will take up responsibilities, and this is just how their family works, and they consider me family. I consider it's like this whole thing, but that's not what my immediate family is like now. And the nuclear family is telling how they're connected by all this extended family, which is a way I could think like connect things, but like my family's not that big, so I could say I have my mom and dad, and they have my dad has his brother, my mom has her sister, and I have 3 cousins, all on my mom's side. That's all I really could say. Like I have my grandparents on both sides. My dad's grandmother passed away a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, so like that's all I could really say. And my uncle on my dad's side, or so like my dad's brother passed away like 4 years ago, so now it's just my dad and my mom and her sister and my 3 cousins, and that's how I can describe my family. But I'd like to go like lineal because like my dad was born in California, my brother was born in North Carolina, me and my mom were born in Minnesota. I think my grandma on my dad's side was born in Utah, and her mom was, I don't quite know where her mom was from, but I'm pretty sure that her mother's parents migrated over here. And then my grandparent or my grandpa on my dad's side. It's just like this whole thing, and so I could connect it that way. That's how I would do it. Altogether, my family goes through indirect fighting, or direct fighting, which is like, it's fine. It's just hard. It's difficult. It's a lot of like, we have to figure this out now, or it's not going to get figured out, and then starts the avoidance, or like the you get ignored, or like you could feel the tension in the house, and that's how I describe my relationship with my dad, and my relationship with my mom is the direct fighting. But I would also associate negotiability, you know what I'm saying, with myself and my dad, and then indirect and direct fighting with my mom, because sometimes my mother and I are quite passive. And then I would go to say that my family is pluralistic. I think that's how you say it. I'm so sorry. I'm not very good at pronunciation. But that's where family likes to talk a lot. Family members tend to make independent decisions, as in like my dad makes his own, my mother, my brother, myself, like we're just kind of independent of ourselves, which I think has made and shaped myself and my brother to be quite independent. We don't really depend on like, oh, is my parent going to be okay with this? Or like, even now as an adult, I've moved out, I'm in my own home, and I don't go running back to my parents like, hey, is this okay? Like I make my own decisions. I don't know. I think it's just formed me this way. So, but this is also talking about how the husband and wife tend to spend time together, but also find quality time in being apart too. So like my dad has his own room where he goes and plays video games. My mom has her own room, and she knits and watches Netflix. so yeah, that's just how I would describe our family. this is that they tend to be expressive and active in their communication and understand each other well. So that's between my parents, so the husband-wife situation. But yeah, it says that conflict frequently surfaces, which I don't know if it frequently surfaces. But if it does surface, it lasts a long time, which I think gets us into like the demand relationship. I wish I could recall what the demand relationship is, but I just don't have it written down. Oh, actually I have my book open. Demand. What does it go over real quick? Where was that? Oh, it's after this because I took notes as the book goes, so just bear with me here. I'm trying to remember. Demand. Where is it? That was there. This is confusing. Sorry guys, I promise. I have. Now my book's not loading. I have the book online. I don't know if you guys do too. No, this isn't what I wanted. I guess I can't find what it. I don't even know where I saw it. I thought I saw it. Oh, I know where it is. I'm in the wrong part of the book. Sorry, guys. My internet's kind of whack, so I have to like wait here for a second and let this go through. Cool. Oh yes, demand. Is a common sign of distress in marriage and repeated patterns of escalating negativity. That was the beginning of how this paragraph goes. But there's a lot of blame and aggressive statements that are delivered in an angry and emotional, depressed tone towards each other. And this is typically like how my dad treats my mom. And my mom just kind of is avoidant of what the problem is, which I think is also the withdrawal. But I just think it's more demand, because if my mom has an issue, she does go approach my dad about it. So it's just like, and there's also a lot of assumptions, which this is what that talks about, is there's a lot of assumptions about things based on previous knowledge rather than listening for new information kind of thing. It's just how it goes with my parents, and I think that's how it goes with my family too. And which then brings me into, I think my family is I did think that my family was a permissive, like, parenting group, but in the sense of freedom between me and my brother. But like my parents were never like just sit there and I don't care that they're jumping on the couch or like run around with a Go-Gurt in their hand and then they like Go-Gurt goes everywhere. You know what I mean? Like that's not something my family tolerated. In which then I kept reading because I did one of those things where you're just like, oh yes, this is the one. But then I kept reading on, and I learned that I think I am my parents are more authoritative, yeah, it has to be authoritative, right? Parenting, which is where they connect. There was also regulation, and what was the other one? I literally just looked it up. I'm pretty sure it was emotional, or not emotional, it was from the other thing. Anyhow, my parents are very involved. They do create a lot of, or present a lot of teaching moments. They're very attentive, like the book says. They're very patient. My mother is very patient, and my dad's very sensitive, and they like sensitivities in it. And then what was the other one? Oh, accepting. My parents are quite accepting of us, and so I think that's just formed our whole family, and that's where I've come to these conclusions of how my family is. But thank you so much for bearing with me here. I hope this works out for you guys. But I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. So thank you.